So after 3 years, this is now when I've started, I missed my periods. So I've started now thinking I'm pregnant. So I tell him, and he tells me, I need you to tell me things that you're sure of. I don't like scares. So he tells me to leave his class. Actually, I walk into class and a girl is seated on him. And I tell him, I need us to talk. And he says, it's fine, talk here. And I tell him, it's something private. And he tells me, it's fine, we're only 4. So I say, should I say it here? And he's like, I am not walking out. So it's either you say it here or you don't say it at all. So I say it. Now I've lost my best friend. I don't have anyone else to tell. Now it's just him. So we go to later, after his class now, he comes and tells me, did you do that thing you're supposed to do? And I tell him no. He says, let's go do it. So we go to a chemist. We buy a kit and it comes out positive. He stood and walked to the next bar. He stands at the door and he asks me, are you coming to drink? And I ask him, we just did a test. And he said, yeah, I was there. Are you coming to drink or not? I tell him I'm not. He tells me, okay, bye, I'll see you tomorrow. So I get to the bus stop. Now I'm going home because now I'm figuring, how will I tell my mom? But my mom, I think, had tried putting 2 and 2 together because she kept telling me, your bus has become too big, what's going on? So at the bus stop, I decide to go back. Now I'm angry. I go back and I find him buying drinks for his friends. So I tell his friends, where's Gray? They're like, he's around here somewhere. So I go to the balcony, I find him smoking. And I tell him, we need to talk about it. How do we tell our parents? He tells me, how do you tell your parents? I'm not telling my parents anything. So I tell him, does your mom even know you're dating me? And he says, yeah. And she calls you a slum girl. So I don't think we need to add salt to that injury.
Oh my God.
So I tell him, what do you mean? He says, yes, exactly what I said. So I tell him, okay. Now I'm angry. So I tell him, then go tell her the slum girl is pregnant. So for some reason, I started drinking beer. So he, later on now when we are a bit high, he comes and tells me, now he's vulnerable, he's even crying. He comes and tells me, you're scared as I'm scared. We need to figure out how to do this. If we're involving people to help us, we need to know who we're taking on board. So I tell him, we need to first tell our parents. We don't need to do it together, but it needs to be a unison decision. And are we keeping the baby? And I told him, I'm not asking you because I want to get rid of it, but it's something that people discuss so that in the end you don't say, I didn't give you a choice to say what you feel. So he says, we're definitely keeping the baby. I say, okay. So I'm going with that was on a Friday. So on Sunday, we're going to church with my mom. So since my mom has been insisting, I decide to just say it slowly. The one for Achatu Askie. So I tell her. And she doesn't react. She just asks me.
How did you tell her? What did you say?
When we're walking, I had worn this black and white dinner dress. She got me. And she said, "You're going to kushika. Rembo kosha una mimba." And I'm like, maybe. Akaniambia, it can't be. It's a yes or no. And she starts laughing. So nikamwambia, niko nayo. She didn't speak until we got to the house. So in the house, she tells me, have you started going for clinics? And how far along are you? So you see, as we just did the test, we didn't think this whole process through to ask how many months and all that. And I tell her, I haven't checked. She tells me, I'll send you money tomorrow. Go to the clinic of your choice and ask how far along are you and what, if there are medicines or anything you need to take, go ask. So I tell her, fine. So the next day, my classes were a bit late on a Monday. So I went and checked and I found out I was like 4 months.
What?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Was your period irregular?
At that time, and I
Yeah.
don't know why, I think it's because I was traveling a lot during my breaks.
Because you'd imagine at 4 months you'd know
Yes.
that you've missed your period 4 times. But usually for people with irregular periods, it can pass you because you're used to not having a period every 28 days or 21 days.
Yeah, even the doctor told me if you're traveling a lot, at times you miss it and you don't realize because your body is changing because of the weather every time you're traveling. So he told me, don't be scared. People do miss these things.
Yeah,
It's just that it's very abnormal. And in such situations, parents wouldn't believe, you wouldn't know.
So even for the first trimester, because 4 months is you're in your second trimester, you didn't have any like weird cravings or nausea, morning sickness?
Just soda.
Just soda. You were craving soda.
Yeah, and I remember I used to pester Gray a lot when he's in class, and I text him, I'm like, I want soda. So he'd go and he'd buy them in 2 liters, all flavors. And he's like, I have class till 6. I hope this gets you till 6.
Yeah.
And he never even thought about it because he used to say, you like sugary things. So I didn't think into it. So now we meet in school and I tell him, did you tell your mom? And he tells me no. And tell him, but we talked about it. And he said, yeah, I know, but let me take some time. Yesterday I found her a bit wasted, so I didn't tell her. So I tell him, okay, now we're in the 5th month, the 6th month. He's not told his parents and he's not telling me. So we go, his friends, apparently in the 5th and the 6th month, him and his best friend, and his best friend's, that wasn't even a girlfriend. I'll call her a sugar mommy or something. They've been speaking to a doctor who can help perform an abortion. And I didn't know. So they invite me to this party in Kilimani. And for some reason, because I'd already told them, they've been told I'm pregnant and now it's showing. So I'm not drinking. So everything I'm drinking should be aside from alcohol to this party in Kilimani. And mommy or something. They've been speaking to a doctor who can help perform an abortion. And I didn't know. So they invite me to this party in Kilimani. And for some reason, because I'd already told them, they've been told I'm pregnant and now it's showing. So I'm not drinking. So everything I'm drinking should be aside from alcohol and all the other drugs they were doing. So for some reason, this lady brings me a drink from the fridge. And it's a passion drink. And she keeps telling me, if you need to drink any juice, just drink this. The rest might be spiked. So I believe her. So around 4, my tummy is hurting incredibly. Like, it is so painful. I tell Gray, I think there's something wrong. I need to go to the hospital. So they don't refuse. They take me to a hospital. So I don't go in, but they all go in and they tell, and whatever they told him, which I don't know what it was, and they come back with pills, very huge pills. So I asked them what their doctor say, and they say, just take these pills and rest. So we were staying there for like 5 days. So this is the 3rd day now that I've gotten sick. So
what are you telling your mom? Where are you?
No, during school breaks, I'd tell my mom I've gone to my friends or something.
Okay.
Because most times I'd go to Mombasa to family. So when I don't, I tell her, give me a week, I go spend with a friend. And she's like, fine. But now she knew him. So I was truthful. I told him I'm going to spend with Gray. And she's like, okay, just take care of yourself. So we come back to the house and for some reason, I'm just feeling I don't want to take these pills. So every time they give me, I just tell them, let me go take them in the washroom with running water because they're too big. I can't swallow with. So I find a reason. So I go and flush them. So they left to go buy alcohol. And Gray left his phone. So I pick his phone and I start, I don't know why I did it, but I start going through his messages. So they have a group. So I open it because he has no password or anything. And I see them now discussing it. And the lady there writes, the last message was, the doctor said it will take a day and it won't. So Gray is worried about, will she die? Naomi, will it hurt her? And now I go up to see what type of conversation is this. So he's the one who had asked them, can you guys get someone who can do an abortion? And I don't want to go to an institute because I already told her I want to keep the baby. So I read all through those messages and I stay. I don't leave. I don't go home. He comes. I don't even ask him. So I don't know what he did in the middle of the night. And I tell him, please do not touch me and do not speak to me because I'm going to get you and your friends arrested. And he asks me, because of what? And I tell him, are you serious right now? He's like, yes. And I'm like, you guys have been planning on how to abort this baby. And I asked you, do you want to keep it? And you said yes. And he tells me, where did you get that? And I'm like, from your phone. He picks my phone and he smashes it on the wall. And he tells me, these are the little issues that make me not want you exclusively because of these things you're doing. So I start crying because now it's 3 people in the house against me. So I start telling him I'm sorry. And I ask him, why would you even ask her? And he tells me, because I knew if I asked you, you wouldn't do it willingly. And if I told you we missed this baby just because of something you did, you'd believe it like it's you who doesn't know. And they're listening. So when I start crying, Gray tells his friend now, let's go to the room. Let's go watch GOT. So they go to the bedroom. They've left me in the sitting room. So I'm hearing weird sounds. And he walks out.
Wait, you've been left in the living room by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
But now you see the pain. Now they've known I'm not taking the meds.
Yeah.
So I went to a chemist after I read the messages. And I got now the right meds because I told them I'm pregnant and all that. And the lady gave me something liquid and told me, just drink it. It could be an infection, just that. And avoid drinking water that's not boiled. Maybe that's the issue. So from when they left, which was like 4 or 5 hours, I've been doing the right thing. So the pain, imeishaisha.
And this passion juice, do you think it had something?
Yeah, I think that's where they had put the initial drug.
Jesus Christ.
Because my tummy started hurting. Immediately I started taking that juice. And I thought maybe it's the sugar. Because you know when you're pregnant, things react different. And because I was so used to soda, so I'm assuming, maybe it's because lime change na ni juice. And I wouldn't want to ask anyone around Niskai because he used to keep telling me, you're the pregnant one. We're not all pregnant. You need to stop pestering people about your pregnancy.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, okay, now I can't ask questions. He's like, yes, if we'd go for a date, he'd tell me, please download the menu before. Know if it's pregnant, possible or whatever it is. Don't ask waiters. Don't keep them on this table because I'm going to leave. And I'm like, bro. And this whole time, if people would ask me, I'd still tell you I loved him. Because I even stayed until the end of the stay.
How old were you?
That time I was 22.
Okay. Oh, you're young.
So now he's walked out, he's shirtless. So I'm thinking, so I asked him, what's your relationship with that girl? And he tells me and my friend are into 3 ways. And I'm like, okay, now you're even doing it in front of me.
And you ask what's going on. So it was 2 guys, 1 girl in there?
Yeah.
And so they were in they were having whatever consensual 3-way sex or something.
And the house we're in is, this girl is married. It's her husband's house.
Okay.
So she's married to a very rich guy who doesn't stay in the country. So we go there for parties, and I kept telling him, what if the husband finds you guys? Apparently now is when I add 2 and 2 together, that you must be in a relationship because you're never scared about this guy coming in.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know these things exist, but it's sad that you are kind of just like the burden, the pregnant girlfriend who is just needs to download the menu before we go anywhere because she's messing with our fun.
The one that I can't leave behind. I have to carry you everywhere. So since I have to carry you, weka hapo, mimi nifanye vitu zangu. So now I decide I'm not hanging out with any of your friends and with you until I get the baby. But we're speaking on phone. I call him. He's never called me. The entire relationship, he has never called me. I used to be the one who calls. And I used to be the one who buys him phones, of course, because he's going to lose them. And I'm in campus. So my pocket money is to save up and buy him a phone.